Sometimes, life can feel like a storm of words. We speak and speak, hoping someone will understand. Yet our words seem to get lost in the noise of the world. We begin to wonder if silence might hold more power than speech. Perhaps, if we listen closely, we might hear truths unspoken. Let me tell you a story about this. In a village nestled between tall mountains and soft green meadows, there lived a woman named Aria. She was a humble weaver, known for creating the most intricate cloth with her hands. Her threads were fine, her patterns delicate. The villagers would often stop by her home, admiring the warmth and beauty of the fabrics she crafted. Every morning, Aria would rise before dawn, sit by the small fire in her cottage, and weave under the glow of the first light. Her life was simple, but her craft was full of purpose. Yet, across the village, there lived a man named Roland. Roland was known for his loud voice and sharp judgments. He often complained, "Aria's work is too expensive. Who needs such intricate designs? She's taking advantage of the people." Each time Aria heard these words, a heaviness weighed on her heart. She tried to explain her work, to explain that every piece she wove was made with patience, care, and love. But Roland would only laugh and shake his head, dismissing her words. The more she tried to explain, the more the rumors grew, and her heart grew tired. One day, as Aria sat by the river, weaving the most beautiful cloth she had ever made, an old woman came to her side. The woman was quiet, with eyes that held the wisdom of years gone by. She watched Aria weave, then asked, "What is the story behind your work, child?" Aria looked at her hands, then at the cloth she had woven. "I weave stories," she said softly. "Each thread carries a memory, a moment of peace, a feeling of warmth. But no matter how I explain it, people don't understand. They only see the price, the work, the effort. They don't see the love woven into each piece." The old woman smiled gently, her eyes gleaming with understanding. "Do you see that willow tree over there?" she asked, pointing to a tall tree by the river's edge. Aria nodded. The old woman continued, "It stands silently, its branches sweeping the ground. It does not demand attention, nor does it shout for people to notice its beauty. But its roots run deep, and the birds find refuge in its shade. The tree does not speak. Its silence speaks louder than any words." Aria thought for a moment. She looked at the tree, its branches swaying softly in the breeze. The stillness of it filled her heart with peace. The old woman spoke again. "Just like that tree, your work speaks without words. It does not need to prove itself. It only needs to be." From that day on, Aria no longer tried to explain her work to others. When Roland criticized her, she simply nodded and went back to weaving. She no longer spent her energy defending herself. Instead, she poured her heart into every thread, letting her hands speak the truth she could not put into words. And as time passed, something changed in the village. People began to notice that Aria's cloths, though simple in appearance, had a depth to them that could not be found elsewhere. They lasted longer. They held warmth in a way no fabric had before. And quietly, one by one, they began to respect Aria not for her words, but for the strength of her work. One evening, Roland came to her shop. He stood quietly, watching her weave. He did not speak. He simply picked up a piece of cloth, admired it for a moment, and left a handful of coins on the table. As Aria watched him leave, the evening sky reflected a soft orange glow in the river, and she realized that silence too could carry strength. Her work was no longer about explaining or defending. It was about creating, letting time reveal the truth. A young boy, who often watched Aria from the window, came to her one day. "Why don't you argue when people doubt you?" he asked, his voice full of curiosity. Aria paused, looking at the willow tree outside her window. "Because," she said softly, "when you stop trying to convince others of your truth, you give your soul the space to breathe. And the truth will find its way in its own time." The boy smiled and nodded. Aria's words were simple, but they carried a depth that the boy would carry with him for the rest of his life. And so, like the willow, Aria continued to weave. Her silence became her strength. Her work spoke louder than any words ever could. And as the village grew, so did the quiet wisdom of knowing that some truths are best left to unfold in the silence. Thank you for watching today's story. Remember, sometimes the loudest voices are not the most powerful. True strength often comes from within, in the silence where the heart speaks its deepest truths. Don't forget to subscribe to Motivotalks for more stories that inspire the soul. Let wisdom guide your steps, and may peace follow you always.